All right. Uh, Shoot. All right, trucking tubes. I'm having some crazy things going on right now, so I guess we're live. So, welcome again to another, I guess, live, uncensored, uncut version of the normal ride along with me. But this time it's going to be about being an owner. I guess you guys get a two for one day. You get a video and a live stream. So that's awesome. Glad to see you here. So those of you who are watching live, and like I said, there's a lot of questions arose about being an owner operator. So excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. But anyway, um, if you guys haven't figured it out by now, you probably haven't. I recently took that plunge to be an owner operator slash lease operator slash yeah, I pay the bills and all that good stuff on a truck. So, um, pretty much how you want to get started. So, you want to get at least 3 to 5 years over the road experience, learn the industry, learn your freight lanes, and learn how a truck really like the maintenance on a truck and stuff like that. Because as an owner operator, especially with maintenance and owner second, but you have to take care of the truck. You take care of the maintenance. If it breaks, you got to pay to fix it. If you need a preventative maintenance, you need like oil changes and filter changes and stuff like that. Or if you need a tire change, that's more like a necessity. So you blow a tire. You pay for that. You pay for the road calls. You're paying all that good stuff up front. Now, some like if you lease with a company like Pack Lease, um, Pack Lease is direct through Pack Car Leasing and like a Peterbilt or a Kenworth or anything like that that Pack Car offers um, as a truck um, option. Now, most likely in that contract, they take care of the truck and everything, so that could be a good avenue to go. Whereas, buying the truck, then maybe buying the truck will probably be a better um, thing for you to do. Um, I know pretty much I hope y'all can hear me. All right. So pretty much as far as that goes, if you want to get into lease purchase, find a good company that you want to settle with first. Like, say, I'm in a flatbed company and I did a lease purchase through the company. Now, you are going to you're going to get screwed, really. You are, as far as your price goes. But make sure it's a fair price because what was included with mine would be your typical truck payment, but I had a little bit more bells and whistles on the truck. Um, so, being being said, you have a lot of expenses there. Make sure that you know see what they take care of, see what you take care of. But most of the time, you're taking care of everything. Some companies will offer you to use, you can use their accounts to get discounts, and you don't have to pay up front because they'll charge you later and take it out of your pay settlement. You'll have pretty much you pay with some companies will let you use their fuel card to get their fuel discounts. The company I'm with, they actually they do all that. They give me all their discounts and their fuel discounts and stuff like that. Just recently, I had to spend 34 hours down this week actually to be in the shop. I was going to do a video on that, but I was like, it's been a long two days for that. I've been sitting due to weather and also being out of service. Um, so I actually had to pay for a windshield. Luckily, everything else that I had to get fixed was under warranty. And you guys are more than welcome to ask any questions. What's going on, ZZ? Good to see you, man. Good to see you here. And if you guys are actually watching and you're new to my stream or you are new to my channel, like real cool in person as well. So I got that pleasure to meet him. He's a really good guy. But anyway, back to our owner operator subject. Um, Pretty much you can succeed in being an owner operator, but you really got to be careful on what you do. You can't just look at that big paycheck and go, "Oh gosh, that's a big paycheck." Contract. You're an independent. It's your truck at that point. You got to take out your money for taxes, and if you're filing single, I believe the current going rate, depending upon how much you make per year, is making around about 80 to 150,000. I believe the current IRS going rate is about 24% just for your federal taxes. You want to check with your state as well as to get a good idea for your taxes. Keep a separate maintenance account. A company, if you do a lease purchase through them, they will set up a maintenance account and they will put like a limit before you can touch it, or they will say, you have to contact us to get it. I don't work like that. I will not, definitely not work like that. I refuse to do that. I have my own separate maintenance account. I take money out of every check I get. I get paid twice a month. Twice a month is what I get paid. I'm so sorry, folks. I just had a darn notification pop up. So, I had, let me actually turn that down. Turn that off. There we go. Sorry about that. So, it's now, what was I? Oh yeah. I take it out. I get paid twice a month on the 1st and the 15th. So I take about $750 out of those checks, and whatever's left over after taxes and maintenance, I will pay myself. So you can get a good paycheck every 2 weeks, for the 2 weeks period that you ran. But ideally, you want to make about $2 a mile on every load that you run. Now, sometimes you're going to have to take a hit. You will have to take a hit to, say you're in a freight area, like say you're in Denver, Colorado, and this is a pit for like freight. You just won't get good freight out of here, or getting certain freight out of California to go, like, to say New Mexico. You won't get good freight out of New Mexico. You won't get good freight out of some of the northwestern states. Montana's kind of iffy. The Dakotas definitely no, not good. But there are freight there, and you will by chance sometimes get good freight out of those areas, depending upon what part of the industry that you're in. Not saying that it's complete and total no, that you won't get something good, but sometimes you will take a hit. Like, you have to pull something that's like $1.50 a mile, that's paying the truck $1.50 a mile, and since you're paying for the fuel and everything, you got to ask yourself, is it worth it that I'm running this load? Is it going to get me to a good area? Am I going to have a situation? I think last month I had to bounce, which bouncing means that you're going empty. Some people call it deadhead. Some people call it empty. You're heading empty. I bounced all the way out of North Dakota into Minnesota into a better freight area, but I also bounced over close to 600 miles to go get freight. Thankfully, it paid off on the backside and covered the fuel on that. But you have to take risks every now and then. If you refuse to take hard business to do, you can be very successful, but you have to manage your money. Don't live like you're high on the hog. Don't live like you can't live frivolously. Live very frugally. Live like you're a poor dude eating out of your truck, eating beanie weenies, like, for my choice, because I want to save money and I have goals that I want to accomplish in the next couple of years. Now, I'm not saying don't say, hey, trucker, the guy I told you to go eat beanie weenies for 2 years and live in a truck. That's up to you. You do what you want. But to be successful, the way I found is you don't eat off the truck stops. Cook in your truck. Take food with you. Take non-perishables. Take perishable foods if you have a refrigerator, so you could cook and have fresh stuff. Get like an Instant Pot or a grill, or so you can cook outside your truck, or Instant Pot for inside your truck, or you can use a little griddle or something like that. If your truck has an inverter or an APU, they're really useful tools. I mean, just kind of buy your stuff and kind of live, like I said, frugally. But you can also be healthy and have a lot of, because you'll spend a lot of money at a truck stop just eating off the truck stop. So tell me if I'm repeating So pretty much what you would want to do as well is you don't want to have a lot of downtime. Sometimes it's unavoidable, whether they close the highways, or you're heading because they can't find you a load. Wintertime's horrible for freight in the trucking industry, at least for flatbed, because our side of the industry slows down once fall comes to an end and winter starts. Because a lot of companies are kind of coming to the year end for inventory, and around the first of the year, the companies are actually breaking down their mills and they're not shipping as much because they're getting ready to ramp up for the spring and into the summer and the fall. So they'll be full swing, and that's when our freight picks up. I'm not really sure about van or reefer or car hauling. I'm sure car hauling's a constant going business, but you got to have a lot of experience in the industry to get into that. Um, but anyway, back to the whole lease purchase side of things. But watch what you do, really. If you want to lease a truck, it's great because you don't have to. It's no money down, no credit checks. But like I said, you can also get really screwed over because some companies will be like, yeah, we'll do this amount of money per week, or we'll have this amount of money per month for your truck. But you got to think about this: you're paying for insurance, you're paying for comprehensive and collision, you're paying for bobtail insurance, you're paying for cargo insurance, you're paying for passenger insurance so you can have a passenger. So it's a lot of things that are associated with that, and your fuel comes out of your settlements if you're using a company card. But if you're independent and you're using your own card, you're paying that whenever that's due. I have not experienced that, so I could not tell you exactly from how that works from if you had your own. The best thing to do is if you get a truck, get something that's going to be worth the time for you, or get something that works for you. Technically, get something that's going to work for you, and you're taking a gamble with any truck you get. It's not, even if it's new. Like I said, I was in a shop for 2 days, 34 hours. That one for 34 hours in the shop because I had to get warranty repairs done. So it's not always going to be peaches and cream. It's not always going to be like all butterflies and teddy bears. So also thumbs up if you like the comments there about the gummy bears and I don't know, all that cool stuff. So hope you guys can hear me. I hope the audio is good too. And so shoot, where was I? I get like sidetracked. I'm like, woo, butterfly, But like I said, if you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer it. If you're seeing this after the live stream, you can leave me a comment and let me know, your question, and I can kind of answer that in a future video or a future live stream. I'm new to the whole live stream thing. I've yet, but anyway, back to spending a lot of time by yourself in a truck, and you like to talk, so because you don't really talk to a lot of people every day, but it's fun. It's great. There's a lot of technically being paid percentage right now as an owner operator for the company that I'm leasing to and leasing from. I get paid 85% of the load. Now, if you're going for TMC, they have a good lease for more specialized freight. I'm not trying to company bash at all. TMC was great to me when I was with them. They really treated me well. They took care of me for 2 years that I was there. I have many thanks to them for my training. They get paid percentage as a company driver. It's between 27 now because they upped it for new guys, 27 to 34%. The only way you can really get 34% is by tenure, being there a long time. But if you want to go a different avenue, a good 2 years in with them would be really good. Or if you wanted to go, a year and a half, if you work for TMC and that's on your resume, dude, oh my gosh, you can go anywhere you want. And I mean, anywhere you want. I applied to Lone Star Transportation one time because I trained. I used to train at TMC, but even as a company driver at TMC, I applied there. They were calling me the next day and say, hey, when you want to come work? You work for TMC, you want to come work? And it's like, I said, let me get back to you. I'll think about it. And then I kind of left it on the back burner. I had a bad feeling I didn't want to go. Now, not saying that they're not a good company. They are a pretty good company from what I've seen. What they haul and everything. It just wasn't for me. Um, if you like say, well, hold on, let me finish that thought. But if you go and like like if I went tomorrow and applied to a different company, like a heavy haul company, then they would probably call me and say, hey, you got this many years in flatbed, you've been with these companies, and you got TMC on your record. Would you like to come work? Like I said, you can go anywhere if you got it on your resume. I just got tired. The reason why I quit is because I got tired of the corporate stuff. Just it wasn't for me. It was time to move on. A lot of guys are okay in a corporate setting. It's just I was more like I want to kind of be in my own, go off on my own. So I did, and I don't regret it. I haven't looked back, and I'm doing pretty well. So, but anyway, but if you do plan on getting your own truck or leaving into maintenance at certain intervals, this particular truck they recommend an overhead valve adjustment at like 150,000. Um, it's not too terribly much, but I'm sure it's probably going to cost me a good chunk of change, like maybe a little over $1,000. But if you look at it this way, the money that you make versus the money that it would cost, it's kind of like a drop in the bucket. Like I paid $463 for a windshield today, because I had a crack in it, and it wasn't too bad. That's like a drop in the bucket, really, because you're making money, but you're also you got to take care of what makes you money. And don't if you get frustrated with it and you feel like that it's not for you, find a company. If you're leasing, find a company with a walkaway lease. If it doesn't work out, you can always go back to being a company driver, and they'll put you in a company truck the next day. Usually, now I'm not saying some companies have policies saying you got to give them a 30-day heads up, or a 48-hour heads up, or 2 weeks or whatever, so they can put you back on the company payroll. um, Doing that, it's really a like I said, it's a gamble. Anytime you do it, it's a gamble, because you could have a really good truck or you could have a problem child of a truck. um, but if you take care of it, it'll take care of you. And if you're wanting to treat it every so often, okay, that might be a good idea. But what a lot of guys have told me that, I talk to on a regular basis, I talk to about 4 operators from four. Yes, I am live. What's going on? Hey, Honda '09. I know this guy. He's he's in he's in the same company. He's a company driver where I'm leased to. He's a good guy. Good guy, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, staying safe out there. Oh, shoot. So sorry if I ramble too much. You can be like, hey, shut up and get on track. Um, um, but so, and you're getting miles. Make sure that you get plenty of miles. Like, say if you're running on percentage, say you're getting paid $3,000 for a load, and you're getting 85% of that $3,000 because that's what it pays the truck. Um, or you're getting 70, 74, something like that, 73 ish. If you get that, then say the load goes 1,000 miles, and that's not including your bounce, your empty. Say you had to travel 100 miles, so you're saying in total about 1,100 miles on a trip for $3,000. So if you do the math on that, I believe that works out just to a little over $2 a mile. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm trying to do it in my head and it's hard. My brain hurts right now. So if you do the math on that, I said if you do the math on that, that actually will work out a little bit better for you. Say if it's over $2 a mile, then it's a good run. But you got to think about it as a business. It's all strategy because it is a business. Think of, think about how much revenue am I bringing to the truck this week? How much revenue can I bring next week? So But as far as what you're getting dispatched, you got to play it smart, because you got to be willing to say no to loads, because companies sometimes will use you to run the crappy loads, and you won't make any money, or you might make money, but it won't be good. You won't make good money. I'm not saying that you won't make money, but I am not saying that it's going to be good money, because you gotta, like I said, you gotta play it smart. So what else am I trying to think of here? Like I said, yeah, play it smart on your loads. Be willing to say no, um, because there can always be something better. Like I said, learn your freight lanes. Make sure you have a separate maintenance account. Oh, and one thing, um, be sure to get an LLC. Um, you want to register with your state corporation commission for an LLC, because it protects you. Say you get into an accident, the person's okay. Now, it's like one of those after injuries. They can have injuries after the fact, and they want to come after you. And now you're an owner operator, or you're a lease purchase guy, so that means you're an independent guy. So, say you were just sole proprietor, you didn't have an LLC. Well, they can come after you. They can come after your bank account. They can come after your assets, everything that you have, including your house and your car. Anything that you have, anything of value, they can come after to liquidate to get their money. If you have an LLC and a good attorney, um, you can really, only thing they can get is what's in your bank account. You, um, as the driver, as an independent person, um, also get you a CPA, a certified public accountant, somebody who does bookkeeping. Get somebody that's reliable, has good recommendations. I think you can go through ATBS as well. They'll help you do your taxes. But a CPA is when you save all your receipts. By the way, save all your receipts. Everything that you do besides food, and I think food. Yeah, food. Anything that you don't spend money on, like showers, you can't claim those. But anything that you put in your truck for work, supplies, if you buy load securement, anything, save your receipts, save your fuel receipts, save your wash receipts. Give those to your TPA at the end of each month. You can send them off an email. Sometimes you can drop them by their office if they have a local office in your area. Um, and they'll help you take care of your taxes every quarter, because you have to file every quarter. That's why I said take your taxes out of each check for your state and federal. Now, if you're in a tax exempt for state, now if you don't have a state tax in your state, then you just have to worry about federal. So find a good CPA that'll help you out and not play with your money. But you can also have a CPA where you just send them all your receipts, send them what you got, as far as your articles of organization for your LLC, stuff for your bank account. As far as, well, I haven't even trusted mine with my bank account, actually. But you send them all your receipts, send them everything that is related to your expenses and monthly stuff for your business. Because every quarter you're going to have to pay them, but you're also going to have to pay the IRS as well, and your state. Because if you don't take out your taxes, that's where the biggest failure for most guys is. They can't manage their money and they don't pay their taxes. So if you don't pay your taxes, the IRS comes after you. You have to pay more taxes and penalties and stuff like that. So that's where some guys will fail. But if you manage your money right, you can make really, really good money, and you can also succeed. You just got to be really business minded. So, like I said, when you take off of it, does it cover my bottom line? You always figure up your monthly expenses, not your operating costs. Your monthly, your bottom line. That includes your truck payment, your insurance, and any other associated costs that you pay monthly. And then you kind of look at how much money do I need to pay minimum to cover those costs every month. So that's your bottom line. So that'll determine how low of a rate that you can run a load for. Some guys I know that are owner operators, they can run freight that is 84 cents a mile, because there is It covers their bottom line, because some guys can make good freight off of low paying freight. I'm not saying, hey, let's be greedy here and let's just try to get all the high paying freight, because you're not always going to get a high paying freight. Sometimes, like I said, you're going to have to bite the bullet. And biting the bullet is the hardest thing to do, because you're like, I know I can make more, but sometimes that's all you got, in your area that you're in. So, like I said, sometimes it's easier to take the crappy loads to get the better loads. Let me see. Like I said, if you guys got questions, definitely fire them off in chat, fire them off in comments, down below if you want. Also, I do have the socials. They're usually I think they're in the description on this video. They're down below. So check them out if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Helps you kind of keep up to date. I just post, stuff about new videos, live streams, stuff like that. I haven't had the chance to tonight, so I do apologize. Although there is a new video, so if you'd like to go check it out after the stream, that would be cool too. There is a lot of positivity, although, in being an owner operator, because you're free. You make the decisions, you call the shots, but you call the shots to a point, because you still lease to a company. You still have to have a good business relationship with them. So that means be good to your dispatcher, because that person feeds you, and so does your load planner. So your load planner feeds you and your dispatcher feeds you. So if you treat them badly, you won't get good food. You get table scraps, and that's not good. Excuse me. So, it's good advice. Like I said, you guys, being an owner operator it can be hard. It can be tough, because there'll be times that you are shut down for a week due to weather, or you might be out for a week or two because you had something go horribly wrong with your truck, like catastrophic failure, to where you had to go in the shop to get it repaired, and it's going to take a while. And you're eating a cost, because every day you sit, you're losing money. The best way to pay yourself well, pretty much you leave the minimum of what you're going to need in your business account for. You would get a separate business account. I did forget to mention that, so thank you for bringing that up. I do appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Getting your own business account, of course, you had to get your own EIN from the IRS when you start your LLC to get your business account. Pretty much, like I said, you want to take your taxes out first. You want to set them in a separate account. So you got your main operating account for your business, and then you have your maintenance account. So you can leave that in your main operating. I want to touch on that in just a second, ZZ. Thank you for bringing that up too. You want to keep your money separate. So you're going to get your money in your main operating account every time you get paid. Set your taxes aside. So figure out what you're going to pay in taxes on what you got paid. Take your taxes out first. Transfer how much ever money you're going to decide to put into a maintenance account into your separate maintenance account. And then pay yourself off of what's left after taxes and maintenance. Like I said, if you have very little in the account, then if you get into an accident and you're an independent, then the only thing they can get is what's in the account. So you might lose your maintenance account money, and you might lose your tax money, but you got to be able to pay your taxes, because you're going to pay them every quarter. So, but the best advice I could give on that: don't get into an accident. I know it's going to happen eventually, but avoid it as you can. Be safe. Practice safe driving techniques. Great following distance. 6 to 7 seconds. Sometimes you can get away with 4 to 6. But I would say a good 4 to 6 seconds is good. Be alert. Pay attention to what you're doing. So you can avoid an accident. And sometimes, people don't avoid you and they hit you, and that's something that, carry a dash cam. Have one of those. That's good. That's a good thing for any independent. Have a dash cam so you can back your story up. Dash cams are really good. But like I said, you have to have a separate account. Don't mix your business with pleasure. make sure don't lease purchase. Um, the company will take out your expenses for you, as far as your truck payment. Um, as far as if you're leasing from a company, like if you're leasing a truck from the company you're working with, um, then they'll take your truck payment out, they'll take your insurance out, they'll take your fuel out, and you get what's left. So your bottom line, like I said, you should have a value. Put a dollar amount on your time. Putting a dollar amount on your time can really help you out, because you know what you're worth, what you can, what it's going to take to survive and still make money and make your bills. And like I said, if you're down for any amount of time, you're spending money every day that you set, because you still have a truck payment, you still have insurance. Now, thankfully, most, like for your comprehensive and collision insurance, comprehensive and collision insurance is only, you only have to really pay for that if you've moved your truck. Like say, like my comprehensive and collision insurance, it's $2.38 for 100 miles that I turn in the hub. So if the truck doesn't move, then you're not paying for the time that it's sitting as far as when it's not moving, but you are paying for the time as when it has moved. But your other, your bobtail insurance and stuff like that, cargo insurance is when you're loaded. So they figure that up. Mine's around, I think, 500 a month. So, but like I said, the company, if you lease purchase, they'll take that out of your settlement. And like I said, you'll get what's left over. Now, if you're an owner operator, you get just that one lump sum. Definitely, you want to really make sure the bills are paid before you pay yourself. Pay the bills, then pay yourself. Pay yourself a wage. Be willing to take a wage. Don't get greedy, because you, like I said, you still have a business to run. At the end of the day, you still have to pay the bills to put bread on the table. So, thing there is to know, I'm still learning a lot every day, and like I said, if I'm not learning, then there's something wrong, and I need to get out of my truck. I need to get out of the career that I'm in, because I could be I'm therefore a danger to everybody else, because I'm not learning things. And you get comfortable, and you don't want to get comfortable in this industry. I know I might get ridiculed for, some of the stuff I say, but I do out of the goodness of my heart. I try to help people. I like to help. I've been big into helping for a very long time. I used to do customer service, so I like to help people. But I really got tired of customer service, and truck driving was my really true calling. So, like I said, if you have any more questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But if you do have any more questions, I'll be more than glad to stay around for a little bit and answer some more questions, because I may not have touched on something that you weren't here for, or I didn't touch on it at all, and you guys might be missing some information that I may have had. Let me think, because I know there's a lot to cover, and it's so much information to cover all at once. And it really, if you don't play your cards right, or you don't pay attention, then it really will make your head spin, and it'll confuse you. And that's why I did about 2 years of research before I got into this. I waited till my third year when I was in truck driving to get into it, because you really want to make sure that you are ready. This lease. Well, good question. Lease versus owner operator. Let me see here. Well, okay. All right. Let me answer Honda's question real quick, ZZ, before I answer that question. As far as owner operator versus lease, it depends on what's going to work for you. Now, with the lease, the company calls the shots as far as the truck, because it's still technically their truck. Yes, you're paying for the truck. Yes, you're paying the bills, and you're fronting it all. But the thing is, you got to be, mindful that they're giving you that zero down, no credit check opportunity to be independent. It can be good, because this company, as good as I do, you can call Dean and ask him. Honda, and he'll tell you straight up what all the stipulations and stuff are. Um, you get a truck. You can trade your truck in on a new truck every 4 years once your warranty's up. So you can have a on an old truck that it's been in their fleet and they ran the dog crap out of it, and they don't, they've overhauled it, or they said they've overhauled it. And if you, by the way, if you do that, get maintenance records. If they don't get maintenance records, don't do it. If they don't give you the maintenance records, do not do it, because that means they have something to hide, or they're just trying to push it on you, and you don't want that. You really don't. But if you want to be an owner operator, some guys, like I said, you're taking a big chance. You roll the dice every time that you go and buy. Like if you want to go buy a truck, like say you want to go out here and you're a Pete guy, and you're like, oh man, it is this used 379. He's only got like 1,000,000 miles on it. He said he's rebuilt it. Looks cool. You done caught the Pete bug. Make sure, if you do take the gamble on it, what the maintenance is like, what he's done to it. Get it checked out by a mechanic if if he allows you. Most guys will be like, yeah, go ahead, get it checked out, and you could take it over to like a dealer and get it checked out. It might be a little bit of money, but it'd be well worth your investment later on, because you'll know what's going on. But even if it's a new truck and it's under warranty, you're still taking a gamble. And that's what RVT was saying earlier with Viking Trucker. He was saying that earlier. You do take a gamble on those. It doesn't matter what kind of truck it is. You're still taking a gamble. So as far as recommendations of keeping back for maintenance every week, you want to set a dollar amount. Companies would usually take about 5% of what you make if you're lease purchase, and set it inside an escrow account, which is an AKA a maintenance account. So I get, depending upon what I make, I think I put about almost 1,000 last month into my maintenance account with the company. I kept 1,400 back out of my own check because I want to build money. Because say you have an emergency and you need to go get a repair, you need a tire repair, you have to have a road call, you have to go into the shop and you got to pay for something and nobody's around to authorize you to use your maintenance account. Well, you got money right there. That's your money. You can take it out of your own pocket and go hand the card and go, let's do it. So it depends on how much you want. Now, also, if you're doing lease purchase too, if you keep back your own separate maintenance account, not only can you pay for all your maintenance stuff out of your own pocket, but if you save what is in your maintenance account and you're not really having a lot of overhead on your maintenance, then, and you're doing all your recommended stuff, then you could actually have a nice hefty down payment for a new truck or a used truck if you finance through a dealer or something like that. So that's kind of like a smart play. You can save up cash for 2 years if you wanted to. Like I said, live is an analogy, but you get the point. Do that, and you can buy a new truck just like that, just like boom, because next thing you know, you've got everything you paid off. Everything's paid off. You got cash. You walk in a dealer and you go, boom, I want that truck. I want that truck right there, and I want it today. And you can do that. So that's a good, a couple of avenues that you can take. So that's, I guess hopefully that was, that helped out, and maybe that answered your question. I hope so. But like I said, there's a lot of risk and there's a lot of reward, and it's so much more freedom. It's so much more. You have more of a sense of, you're more in control. You feel like you feel like your big man on campus, kind of. You're like, oh yeah, and you can do stuff to your truck. You can put shifter extension if you want to and be cool. See, hold on, let me see if I can't turn this around. I'll show you guys. Here we go. Yep, see, shifter extension, just like that. So this darn thing won't turn around. There we go. All right. You can do things to your truck. Now, I'm not saying go and spend all your money on mods. Don't do that. Do a little bit at a time. That's another good thing to cover. Don't dig into your maintenance account. Dig into your own personal funds for mods. If you can't afford it, then you probably shouldn't buy it. Because I know a lot of guys when they get a truck, they're like, I want a drop visor. I want lights all over. I want a shifter extension, or I want a big shifter. I want a brand new seats. I want wood floors. I want wood dash. I want chrome everywhere. If you spend a lot of time in a chrome shop, you're going to go broke. That's just the moral of the story, folks. You're going to go broke if you spend a shit ton of time in the chrome shops. So don't live above your means. I actually said to myself before I started this that I was going to have every single piece of debt that I had ever accrued in 2.5 years. No, sorry, 3 years. Sorry, I'd forgotten. In 3 years, um, I I went from $25,000 in debt, and I don't really share too much of my personal finances, but I will share that. Um, and 3 years, I went from almost $25,000 in debt, 20 to 25,000 to nothing, to owing nobody a penny. Only thing I have is my credit card, and I pay that off every month. Good to have that too. I went from that, and I was going to make sure that I had no expenses as far as monthly. Only thing I have is a storage unit, and I pay for my car insurance every 6 months, and I pay for my cell phone and credit card. That's my only monthly recurring stuff. What in the world? What's going on here? I just go buy a brand new pickup. Yep, that's good. That's a good point. And last place, we had a lot of guys pay out for super sleepers. That'll also limit you to what you can haul, because those are meant for more people who do special stuff, special freight. Um, there, and that's more of a if once you've been through your first couple of trucks and you have enough money to go pay for that, and you pay for it in cash, and you still have money to operate and money for maintenance, that's when you should do that. And also getting a pickup truck before the truck's paid off. Pay your truck off, people. Don't just be like, I'm living above my means. I got to go buy a brand new truck because I'm making all this money. Don't go buy a brand new pickup. I can understand you're making an investment on a house, but wouldn't you rather make the money in a couple of years and live in your truck for the time being and go buy your house and pay for it in full, or buy your land and build your house and it's all paid for and you owe nobody a dime and it's yours, free and clear, deeds in your name, it's in your hands, it's yours. Your vehicles, you pay for them, they're yours. You don't owe nobody a penny. The bank doesn't have a lien on it. It's yours. That's the way I look at it. It took me a long time. I screwed myself up big time in financially when I was younger, and I paid for it for the last 10 years, and I regret it. And I said I would never regret it, and then I ate my words, and I'm regretting it. But now I'm back on top. I've paid off everybody that I ever owed. I paid off the banks. I've paid off stuff that I fell behind on, and it felt so good to do that. And now that I've repaired, I'm on the road to having a good credit score, I could go finance something now if I wanted to. But do I really need to? Then ask yourself, do I need it? If the answer is no, then why are you going to go buy it? Pay off your truck first. If you're going to do that, pay off your truck. That's your goal, because that's your money maker. Because once your truck's paid off, you're making your profit, except for what your operating cost is and what your overhead is every month as far as your insurance and stuff. And you also every year you're paying for your inspection, for your DOT inspection, and you're paying for your tags and your title, your taxes and your tags. You got to pay sales tax if you're buying a truck. In certain states, I think you pay it every year. Some states will do a franchise tax or excise tax or whatever. So when you think about it, we have it good. Our lifestyle allows us to live without a lot of bills. I thought I was doing good local. Bills added up with the R's. Yeah, it's true. You're right. And over the road it is really it is a way to go. But also a lot of guys, that have families, they get, they're used to, if they're local, their family's used to being home all the time. And they really, if they go back over the road, it can be really if you don't have a strong support system and you're not, you don't have a solid relationship, um, so it's really, you got to have a good support system if you have a family and you're going back, or you're going over the road, or going back over the road, or you're just starting out. So, like I said, get a good solid 3 to 5 years before you even think about going owner operator or lease purchase, because if you've only had a year over the road or a year local, like in your case, easy, I think that's what you said. You had a year local and a year over the road. Um, I would recommend, because at that point you don't know the freight lanes, especially in the industry that you're trying to get. If you're trying to get into flatbed or van or reefer or specialty cargo, and for um, certain companies like Landstar or something like that, if you're doing owner operator straight with them, um, you really you don't know the freight lanes. You don't know where the freight's good. You don't know how the logistics are set up. Learn the logistics side. Learn what a dispatcher does. Learn what a load planner does. Learn your freight lanes. Learn where's the hot spots and where's the not spots. Um, learn learn everything you can. Sponge as much information in that amount of time, in the 3 to 5 years before you take the plunge. Sponge information, know what you're doing before you do it, because there's some guys that are just like over my head. Well, you didn't do your research. Always do your research. Play it smart. Be the smart one. Don't be the dumb sitting in sitting at home with no money, and then you quit being an owner operator because you can't afford it. I'm not saying that all that. I'm just a very straightforward person, so I do apologize. You know, hate me if you want. Sorry, but it's true, because you got to be really mindful. Like I said, it's all about managing money. It's all about making sure the bills are paid. Pay the bills, then pay yourself. So, um, pay pay yourself a decent wage, but you don't have to starve yourself, but you can pay yourself a good wage. You can make money and still make all the bills and still have your own expenses. Like this past month, I'll share this. This past month, I took out my taxes, took out my maintenance, paid myself, and still made $5 grand. So $5 grand. So that's after paying my bills, personal bills and stuff that I was, like paying off the credit card and paying other stuff that just had come due and stuff like that. I still made about five, almost 6,000. So, um, that's like I said, it's after maintenance account and after taxes. So you can make money. There is successes. A lot of people in this industry, they're owner operators, say you're the slave to the truck. Yes and no. Yes, you have to run to make money. Now, if you go home every week or every 2 weeks and you're complaining that you're not making money, well, maybe you should run for 3 weeks. That's what I do. I usually run 3 weeks to a month, and I go home for about 4 days. And then I go back out on the road for 3 to 4 weeks and then back home for 4 days. So, and sometimes I get stir crazy over 4 days because I love my job and I like living on the road. And it's weird. I know some people might think I'm crazy, but that's just my way of life. So, and with my videos, I try. My goal is to help you guys. My goal is to connect with people, make new friends, entertain everybody. Oh, what do we got? Ooh. Yeah, I'm experienced trying to learn as much as I go. Thanks for taking time out to drop some info. Oh, no problem. Definitely glad to do that. Um, definitely glad to connect and do that for you guys, because everybody needs help in this industry. Some people want to make people fail. They just don't want to help them. They'd rather sit there and laugh at them when they fall rather than to help them and help them learn and try to at least get them on the right path. You can only it's that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. We can give you the knowledge, we can give you the tools, but you got to be able to use them, you know. And that's why I said I'm always here. You guys can, I'm actually going to think about making an email for the channel, instead of using my business email for my company. So you guys can email me. Um, I really, I really appreciate you guys. I really do. Thank you so much for being subscribers and awesome subscribers, and being here and watching the videos. And I did my thank you video and it was kind of blotchy. And I want to reiterate, without you guys, I'd still be making videos just for my parents because that would keep them updated. But then I realized I wanted to help people as well. So I'm glad I'm reaching a broader audience, and you guys are amazing. Thank you for subscribing. If you know some people who are trying to get into the industry, who would want some good entertainment as well as some good, hearty, helpful information, share me around with them and everything. So like I said, I like to talk, but I got to get to bed, and it's been a wonderful time. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, and I'm sure there's some people that's going to be watching that's new later on, hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications for future content, because there's going to be some cool stuff coming up. I'm kind of doing a live stream in between video edits and stuff like that. Everything's behind a little bit. But I'm glad I could help. So, like I said, click the bell for notifications. Follow me on the social. Links are down below. And there's another saucy cooking video coming up. So if you guys are cooking on the truck and stuff like that, so I got those. Check those out too. Glad to see you all. Thank you so much for stopping by, ZZ. Thanks for tuning in, Honda. You guys are amazing, and I'm going to call it a night. Until next time.